Good morning and welcome back to the YouTube channel, everybody. Just want to say thank you to all the wonderful people that have visited my channel and have subscribed and shared and made this channel possible. We've reached 300. My goodness, 300 people are interested in watching what I do. I can't wait as the channel grows and I have the ability to do more things and show you more things. It's going to be great. This morning, literally, I have not picked up a pencil this morning at all. Mondays are a little bit harder, as we all realize. I've done, I've described last time sort of the process of how I look at Mondays. I'm like, where in the name of sweet molasses jelly did the weekend go? My goodness, it was just great. First it was Friday and I was like, oh my gosh, party time. And then Saturday came and I was like, man, this party's never ending. And then Sunday, you got your Sunday stroll. And then Monday comes and you're like, Monday, you gotta go back to work. I think you come from it's like an evolution of, maybe I need to do that in illustration form. That would be fun, wouldn't it? The evolution of the weekend. As told by, whatever it is, a character. That would be great. See, that's how ideas happen, people. Ideas happen quickly, and then you gotta latch on to them. Anyway, today I'm just doing a really short sketch for you guys of Thor. Wouldn't it be fun to do maybe a character each and every day? Already do that. Each and every day that corresponds with the day of the week. So Thor would be Thursday, Wednesday would be Odin, and do the research and find exactly what the other days of the week are according to their names. That would be fun. Just an idea for some of you guys that are interested in doing, a character every day or something new and different. Anyway, over the weekend, I of course, had tons of fun, got zero work done. I'm realizing that during the week, since I'm so busy now, that I kind of need to, take a step back and just, enjoy the family. I remember, I don't know not too long ago, the weekend was just a time to catch my breath. I worked in a 9 to 5 and I literally was like, I gotta get to the weekend. I'm climbing. Oh, yes. Oh, weekend's here. And then by Sunday, after everything is said and done, that two and a half days was just, it literally wasn't enough. And I didn't have time to do what I wanted to do. But now that, I'm doing, I'm freelancing all the time. I literally have, during the week, I have the opportunity to really discover who I am as a person, but, do all these great little fun illustrations and whatnot. But over the weekend, a lot of times you're kind of, if your spouse or whatever has a job and they want to basically get everything done that they need to get done. So they are on the same schedule that you used to be on. So I think what I'm trying to say is basically that the weekends to me are family. And I love spending time with my family. I love spending time with my kids. I love, having a lot of fun. I love doing things. Of course you don't want to shirk your responsibilities, but on the same chord, you don't want to miss out on the great opportunities that you can spend time with the little people that you've created. If you have children. If you don't have children, then obviously you're going off and you're doing your own thing and you're exploring and whatnot. And I just think that you should definitely, if you're not, even if you are. If you're not married, or if you are married, what I'm trying to get at basically is, live your life the best that you can and have fun and explore and do things that are going to, net you the best experience in life possible. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Anywho, so over the weekend I ate at a place with the fam I ate at a place called Wahlburgers. If any of you know anything about Wahlburgers, you know that it's owned by the, is that his name, Wahlburger? No, Wahlberg. Goodness gracious me. Wahlberg. It's owned by the Wahlberg brothers family. Donnie Wahlberg and all those people. Anyway, so I got to have their one of their burgers, and man, oh man, was it good. Now, I love a good burger. Don't get me wrong. I love a good burger. You can't really, I guess you can. You can really screw up a burger, can't you? The plain fact is their burgers are fantastic, dude. I loved it. It was great. I had their, what is a weird name? I forget the name of it. But it had, of course, a delicious patty. It was a delicious patty. Delicious. And then it had, your Swiss cheese and your mushrooms. And, man, it was just so freaking good. And then they include this sauce. It's kind of like a special, it's like a sweet sauce. It's not barbecue. It's kind of like a Thousand Island, but not Thousand Island, if that makes any sense. Which it probably does not. And it was just good. And it was reasonably priced. It was downtown Orlando, right at the corner of Church and Orange. And, at that time, there's this big event going on. I guess there's a big soccer game here in town. Orlando is changing, rapidly changing. We've adopted a soccer, league and whatnot, and there's a lot of people downtown, man. I was very surprised at the amount of people that were there. But I'm not really. I don't want to say I'm not a people person, because I am. I like being around people. I like entertaining them. I like inspiring people. So yeah, but it was a different type of environment. We can all admit there's different types of people in the world. Not everybody is the same. Not everybody has the same motives. Not everybody treats the world the same way. Not everybody has the same outlook on world. And whenever you're in a city environment, you have a different type of human being that has different interests and different a different direction, and depending on where they grew up and what they're doing. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that they had some more interesting people there than I typically like to have my family around, and it was interesting to say to say the least. There's that level of uncomfortability that you have that you have to overcome. Because, if you have somebody, stroll past you that you can smell from 30 feet away, and realize that maybe they haven't had the same opportunities that you've had in your life, you kind of have to look at them with a little bit of a guarded, that's the best way to put it, a guarded attitude. Because even though, it really sucks, because, if you go back to biblical times, everybody smelled, so it didn't really matter. And everybody, maybe had everybody has different motives. But on the other hand, I don't like to judge a book by its cover. So this guy, he goes and he crossed the street, and this woman who was driving an SUV, let's get this around here so I can get this hat on him. She was driving an SUV, and she was texting, and she almost hit this guy. And it really brought to light. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with people? Why are you texting driving in the city? And she almost hit this poor guy. And I went up to the guy. I go, buddy, you all right? And, of course, he was surprised that, I would go up and say something to him. And he looked like he was homeless. And I think he was surprised, too, of the fact that he almost got killed. And it really drove home the fact that you can't really and we had a little chat for just a moment, and, I said, because he looked like he had all this stuff with him in life, and we started talking, and it really brought to light the fact that you don't know a person's situation based upon the way they look. And I try every day to change thoughts and initial, knee-jerk reactions that have come into my brain, for people that, whether you're wearing a specific kind of clothing that kind of, makes, or whether it's a hoodie, whether it's a smock, whether it's a long jacket, whether, people are going to dress the way they dress. And I'm kind of a people watcher as well. I enjoy watching people. Mainly for their, the gesture and pose and the characters they portray. But the fact of the matter is, and I tell this to the kids in school, is people are going to read you by your cover. And if you want a good, if you want an opportunity to advance not only in your job but also in life, you have to present yourself not only approachable but also friendly and reliable. And I'll be honest, whenever I first saw the guy that almost got hit, I was like, I'm not interested in talking to him. But whenever, it's funny because whenever there was danger involved or whenever there's a possibility of him getting hurt, all that went away. And I was very genuinely concerned with the fact that, maybe he got hurt or maybe he was going to get hurt. And that kind of brought it to my attention, because everybody in this world, good or bad, has an opportunity to, to get friends or be observed. And I just want to say that that was an eye-opener for me. And the fact that in that moment, everything went away from general background to, income level to everything. And that's kind of what I'm learning. I'm working on my book right now, Frank and Beans, and it's basically a book based on getting rid of those stereotypes, getting rid of those generalizations that we all, for some reason, I don't understand it. As kids, we just want to have fun. We just want to have fun. And, growing up, we suddenly start getting, excuse me, these concepts in our minds that we need to classify people and be something that, maybe we're not, or something. And it's just, it's one of those situations where I'm trying to learn more about my world and become a better human being. Because at the end of the day, that's kind of where I'm at. I want to be a better human being. Overall, not just a better dad, not just a better artist, not just, I want to be a better person. And if what happened yesterday was a small effort in getting rid of some of those old, observational stereotypes, then I'm glad. I've mentored many people in my life, and each time I go into the mentorship, I always have to ask myself, how are they going to perceive this relationship? How is it going to affect them? And just like whenever you take a long trip, if you're in a straight line and you just barely nudge that particular vehicle just a little bit, or maybe take a small road that goes parallel but just goes a little bit, whenever you get to the end, it's going to be much greater distance from where you originally went. So if I can nudge some of these people that I mentor in a positive way, then that is something, my job has been done. And that's what I have to say about that. To quote the words of Forrest Gump. Anyway, today I'm just going to finish this up real quick. I didn't want to spend too much time on it, as I typically don't want to do, just because, time is a precious commodity that is very hard to manage sometimes if you don't, if you're not, number one, if you're not very good at it. And number two, actually, let me look at And you know, if you have a lot to do in one day, which I do. Okay, Thor. T-H-O-R. Let's look at Thor's helmet. Real quick like. There we go. Man, that's outrageous. It's got huge wings on the side, dude. And then it's got this weird pointy top. I guess Thor is a chick now. Whatever. I'm not really in the loop in terms of what's the most popular, so it comes to a point. There we go. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I got these wings that come up. Keeping it loose, always keeping it loose. And here his hammer, Mjolnir. I remember whenever I was growing up, I saw the hammer, and then it was spelled out, and I'm like, what the heck? How do you say that? Mjolnir? Mjolnir. Of course, I was an idiot. It's Mjolnir, and I said it Mjolnir, and I would argue with my friends. You are wrong. It is Mjolnir. No, it wasn't. It's Mjolnir. J's a Y. Anywho. So this basically, again, you know, I'll be making perspective corrections, and that's what's great about sketches, is you can kind of make perspective corrections, because it's got to go like this. Now, what I've realized is the majority of you don't know how to draw, and I place, you know, I put on my description how to draw, and basically the way that I learned to draw was basically by doing, and I didn't per se have somebody holding my hand the whole time. You know, I learned by making mistakes, and I think that's kind of the best way, maybe? I don't know. You learn by making mistakes in your drawings and stuff, but you do have to have certain principles down to make this skill set work for you, and learning about perspective. I highly recommend, you know, Googling lesson on perspective, and maybe we'll get into some of those basic principles here in the future. But learning, you know, your basic perspective, and, you know, your 2-point, your 3-point perspective, your multi-point perspective, and what makes you have the ability to, you know, kind of reach into the page, and things, you know, looking further in the distance are smaller, and things closer, because that's, you know, we all live in the 3-dimensional world, and we're creating images that are 2-dimensional on the page, but they're looking, you're trying to make them look 3-dimensional. So there's, again, kind of that disconnect. So anyway, I am running a bit long, so I'm going to try to keep this pretty short. I might even edit it to where it, you know, it just has the drawing. So anyway, thank you guys again for subscribing and checking out my channel. I really appreciate it, more than you guys can know. If I can get some of this stuff to you guys, let's have this cape come up. To you guys, and it affects somebody, you know, in a positive way, then my job as an artist and as a storyteller is complete. I don't pretend to think I know everything, and actually I'm one of the first people to tell you that, you know, I've got a lot to learn. And I think that, coupled with my enthusiasm, hopefully it comes out in the way I draw. Let's do this. I've got like a tune going in my head whenever I'm doing one of these pieces. And this just happens to be Ride of the Valkyries. Dun 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 dee dee. Even that reminds me of eh ho 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 ho. The what do we call it? Elmer Fudd. Brumhilda, I love you. Yeah, that's every single time I do this, I think of that. Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead to time lapse. Oh man, yeah. See, that's what happens whenever you sing and you draw. You get spittle on your drawing. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. So I'm going to go ahead to time lapse. I'm going to wrap this thing up. And again, share and subscribe. And thank you guys once again for everything that you've done. All the wonderful subscribe buttons and the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Trassandra Silam Brumhilda. Yes. I think that I'm going to do some Anyway, thank you guys, and we'll see you on the other side. Or at least, yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Why not? All right, thank you guys. And that's the end of that video. Thank you guys for all that you do, for visiting my channel. We are over 300 subscribers. And you know, the channel is growing steadily. Don't want to grow too fast, but you know, I do have a new video series coming out for some possible Disney characters. I really enjoy doing Disney characters because they're established and you know, people can relate to them. They have a relationship with them, and you know, as I go through the video process, I'll try and bring up some stories of things that I have a relationship with some of the characters, from Mickey Mouse to Goofy, and instances in my life where I looked at those and I was like, wow, that's really cool. You know, I can really relate to what they do and what they stand for. So hopefully you guys can relate to that. I'm still learning about the process of YouTube and how it works and how to put things in different categories and how they're structured and you know, maybe at the end of the day, maybe in another couple years, you know, I'll be a little bit better at this. So anyway, thank you guys, sincerely. This particular platform, getting the ability to draw something, to share something worldwide, I mean, it's fantastic. And you know, if I can tell a story and affect somebody in a particular way that actually gets them to be creative and fall in love with art, then my job is done. You know, not only do I love to teach, but I also love what I do, and I hope it shines through. You know, and that is that. So have a fantastic week. like and subscribe. Put a thumbs up. It really makes a difference. I didn't realize before how much of a difference that it does make, but it really does, in the system. So anyway, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.